Today, over 1 billion children in the world live in poverty. At Help Heal Humanity, our goal is to connect children in need with people like you who want to make a difference. Our student sponsorship program helps provide children with the necessities for a healthy and successful start to life. When you sponsor a student, you're not only giving them the gift of education, you're giving them the best chance for a brighter future. 100% of your donation supports the tuition fees, uniforms, textbook, and school supplies needed to thrive in a safe and healthy learning environment. Sponsor a student now and be the catalyst for their brighter future.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Beckley. How are you doing?
I am doing magnificent because I am with Mrs. Queen here, the other BB. Yes.
All right, but I have to tell you, can you believe it's December 27th already? Hasn't this year absolutely flown by?
Don't even tell me that, Barbara, because I'm like,
Wow. It's just been, and I've had a crazy week, with Christmas but a fun crazy, just one of those fun crazies. Just doing some things, but sometimes it can be like, oh brother, but I have to tell you, okay, so let's start off with something fun.
Okay.
What's today? You love it.
I do.
Today is National Fruitcake Day.
Okay, now I got to ask the question: is it fruitcake like the fruit, like a cake, or like fruitcake?
No, well, a bit of both.
I was right.
Okay, but do you like fruitcake?
Yeah, not really.
Oh, see, now I love fruitcake.
You love? There's not too many people like fruitcake, so you
either love it or you don't.
Yeah, there's no middle.
I have made fruitcake. It is very, I've made the really traditional one where it takes weeks to make, and a lot of work, but so good. So good. But you either like it or you don't. And the thing is that so many people think fruitcake is what you buy at the little convenience store. But when you get a really good one, there's nothing like it. But it's like anything else. You either love it or you don't. But anyways, today is National Fruitcake Day. So your history lesson. How long do you think fruitcake's been around?
See, you always do this to me. Okay. Last time was a little close. Let me see.
You did good last time.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking.
Think old.
What you say? You say I'll give you a clue, Barbara. Think old, like old,
really old.
Like really. Let's say 1400.
Nope. Ancient Rome. But excuse me, it was the earliest known recipes. They used pomegranate seeds and pine nuts and raisins, but they used barley mash.
Isn't that part of like what is
it? Yeah, it's like I think mash is almost like a cereal.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of thing. But then in the Middle Ages, people got a little nuttier, I guess. They started adding nuts and spices and preserved fruits and honey and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then in the 16th century, guess what happened? What do you think?
They start putting alcohol in it.
too. But the abundance of sugar.
Oh.
Sugar from the sugar cane.
Yes.
It got put into, so they realized that it could, preserve fruit. It was like, so they had candied fruit, and because sugar became more abundant.
Okay.
So like regular people could make fruit cake.
Okay.
Because otherwise it was like the upper classes type of thing to have sugar. But then as sugar became more abundant.
More available to anybody. That's okay. Wow.
Yeah.
See?
But then the next thing is, this is the fun thing. One of the fun things. In 1913, it started as a mail order. They started mail ordering fruitcake as gifts and stuff in 1913.
So people were sending fruitcakes to people. That's what, yeah.
But part of it was because of, excuse me, I have got something in my throat. Charities used it as a fundraiser.
Oh, okay. Because I did see that happening more and more with the fruitcake.
Yeah, and that and we've done that. I mean, it's like, oh brother.
Wow.
So how things, but you started out with, did you mean nuttier? Well, that's where the phrase came from, nuttier than a fruitcake. But it was coined in like around the 1930s, 35.
Well, when that saying came up, nuttier than a fruitcake.
When that saying, yeah. Because and of course, because the southern bakeries were putting so many more nuts because they had like pecans and stuff, so that's where it came from. And I laughed. I said, "Oh, brother, isn't that the truth?" Because we say that all the time. But how many expressions do we use
that we don't even where they came from?
Don't even know where it came from.
I know. I was just saying some expressions that my mother used to say and dad. Yeah. A long time ago, and now to this day, I still don't really understand. First of all, what it meant. I got older, and where it came from. Because my mother used to always say, and she used to always tell me this when she didn't want me to go somewhere with her. She used to always say, "I said, well, Ma, can I go with you?" Because I'd be all, excited about going out or whatever. And she's like, "No, I'm about to see a man about a dog. You can't go with me here." Yeah, and I'm like, and a dog would never come. I didn't like dogs. I don't even know why she said that.
I think that was like a money term.
Oh,
that they were going to go and see about getting money for something. Okay. I don't know.
It was never
that's what comes to mind, but I don't know. But anyways,
I need to look that up because she said that a lot. I mean, she was the only one that said it. My dad never said that. And I was like, and I used to ask my dad, I said, she goes out all the time about a man, about a dog. I said, well, the dog never comes back.
And the dog never comes. Yeah, you never get a dog. Right. I know. It's just funny where some of the expressions come from. And it's just hysterical. So
now we're talking expressions, Bar. Okay, maybe you can guess where this came from. We need to look this up if we don't know, because it's interesting. You know the other term where people say, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Uh-huh. So after I thought about it, and it's funny, I was talking to Barry about this the other day. I said, Barry, these things like we're saying. I said, you always heard the expression like, you can't eat your cake and eat it too. Why are you gonna give a cake and don't eat it? I mean,
right. Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If I have the cake, I can automatically eat it because it's
exactly. So we should look up what we'll have to. That'll be my thing for next week. I'll look up some of these expressions that we use.
I think that's kind of interesting because see, this goes back to words. Yeah, some are just, and then some things, you know how you get so used to hearing certain saying and words through your life, it automatically just comes to you. You kind of just say it, but you might not even know what you're saying because you didn't really look deep into it, what it meant.
Right, and just word usage. Just some of the words of like I'm Canadian, and so like there are being sometimes, like I remember one time a friend of mine, and I was just sitting just quiet and just kind of thinking about stuff, and she looked at me, she said, Bar, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm just sitting here mithering.
I like how you looked up like,
and she said, you're what?
And you knew.
I do. Yeah, mithering is just to be contemplative and to just be thinking about, thinking thoughts and thinking about something that you need to do or be or whatever it is. Yeah. And she went, is that a Canadian term? And I said, well, I think actually it's Old English. But yeah. So yeah. we don't even think about things. I know we've talked about it before. A friend of mine is from Ireland. And when she met her husband, he was the local Bobby. And one day we were all chatting about how we met our husbands. She said, oh yeah, Don was the local Bobby. So he used to come and knock me up every morning.
You know what that's
over there, that means that they would come along and knock on the door to wake everybody up. They would come and you could have them, the local constabulary. If you needed to get up early for something, they would come and knock on your door to get you up, like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
But we sat there and we roared because it was like,
it sounds like something else than just knocking on the door.
It sounds a little bit like something else. And and it's the connotations, and yet it's the same words.
Yes.
But words have meaning and words have power.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Words have power. And the thing is so like, especially right now at this time of year, we can either have the words that uplift or we can have the words that tear us down. And, it's like with me, I try to always be positive on any time of the year. But Christmas, it just, the Christmas season between Thanksgiving and New Year's, people react all different ways to that season, depending on things that have happened. And I think what happens so often to people think that being positive, it doesn't mean that you have to love everything every single day. But I think it's a basic feeling of choice. It's being grateful for something in your life that's going on, even though you might not be feeling, sometimes days are hard. Like Dave, my husband's birthday was December 21st.
Oh, I know that was a little rough.
He's been gone 11 years now, but boy, on December 21st, it was like, oh, today's David's birthday.
Oh, I'm sending love to him. I know that.
Yeah. And so even though it was that sad moment, I was able to sit and remember just some of the funny things that he just had such a quirky sense of humor. Just a quirky sense of humor. And he would just do little things and just to make me laugh.
Yes.
And he would do stuff and then he would walk around and do something and wait for me to notice it. And it was just the most hysterical thing.
Oh.
And it would be like, okay, and I miss that quirkiness of him.
Yeah.
But he knew he could be quirky with me because I would just laugh. And some of the things that he would do, and it would be like,
okay. And he probably did it because he just want to see you have that smile on your face and you're laughing.
Exactly, because I would laugh. But the thing is, right now, it's think about something that's good.
Yeah.
Think about, because every day we have that choice.
It's funny, Barbara, you said that because just the other day I was on another show and we were talking about love and showing gratitude and everything. Yeah. And I mentioned the fact that, we have to make those choices every day in our life, like you said, about being either this way or that way. And sometimes something can, like you said, when thinking about your husband, I was thinking about my dad just a few weeks ago because he died in Thanksgiving week.
Right. Exactly.
And it kind of blends into the whole holiday thing. Yeah. And, at that point in time, I was sitting there at home. What was the word that you said? Just murmuring.
You're mithering.
I was mithering. And I was thinking about, wow, I sure miss him. And it's been over 30 some years and it's still there,
I still miss my mom.
Yeah. And then for a minute I was thinking, I was like, okay, Barbara, this is the choice right now. You always tell other people this. See, I always say, if you're going to tell others, you need to use it on yourself too.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I can go there down that road of woe is me, I'm feeling whatever, or I can think of the good things that my dad left me for me, and think about the people that right now might not have like a roof over their head, or they can't even get food or whatever. You know, think about those people and put prayers out. So that's what I did. I sat in silence, Barbara, and I prayed. I prayed for people. I prayed for you. I prayed for my friends and family. And I just really was like, you know what? We need to do that more for each other, because you never know what's going on in another person's life.
Well, exactly. So that's kind of one of the things, like this time of year where we can either drown in despair, or we can just kind of be going along blah, or we can choose to uplift.
Yes.
And those are the choices that we have, but sometimes we need a little help to do it with.
Yeah, I need a little. I need
one of the things we need little tips, and people would think, like, I love tips,
me too,
because sometimes they're so obvious, and you think, all right, how can somebody not know this? And yet, I have had people say to me, like, I've given these little silly, to me, just kind of common sense kind of tips. And I've had people that come back to me and say, Barb, that just absolutely changed my life. I never thought of that.
And it's real simple. Yeah.
And it's something really simple. And so, like, one of the things to handle this time of the year better, reduce your financial stress.
That's a good tip. It's a really good tip.
It is okay to be a Scrooge. Once in a while, if you have a financial, if you're having a tight budget, don't feel like, so many people, but what'll, you don't have to go into debt over presents to fill Christmas stockings with things that people that they're not even going to use. Or one of the things too is that you don't have to buy for everyone.
No.
Choose to buy for the children, the younger children. To me, over 18, you are really just exchanging gift cards.
This one, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're exchanging gift cards.
But you know what I do? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
No, I was going to say, just to jump in with presents and stuff. What I do every year in my job, they have where you can adopt a child every year.
Yes.
So I've been doing that for 10 years now, Barbara. I've been adopting a child. Now, the first year, you're going to laugh at me. I was really excited about it when they told us about the program. I said, oh, I don't have any children. It would be nice to, give gifts to the kids, to children, because I haven't had any in my life, really. I mean, I had some, but not my own. And so I got all happy, and I picked 25 children, Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
And to the point that the coordinator emailed me back, because they had a spreadsheet, you had to put your name on which child and what they wanted and stuff. The coordinator came back and they said, Barbara, first of all, you're so sweet and generous. We see that you picked 25 children. They said, you have to get a gift for each one, right?
I know, right, exactly.
I was like, oh yeah. And she said, now they picked, because what they did, they had the children pick 3 items that they was thinking what they wanted.
Right.
And you pick, one out of the 3 or whatever.
You're right. Or like several years, I've done a shoebox. Those shoebox, like campaigns that there's several different, but this year I think I don't know if I told you this, but I adopted, well, it's not adopted. I have financed pulling 20 pounds of garbage out of the ocean.
Oh my God. So how do you just go to the,
so it's called for the ocean. It's a group. And that's what they do. They started out, they saw the mountain of garbage that's in the middle of the Pacific. It's an island of garbage in the middle of the Pacific. And so you can donate money, and you can donate money in people's name and the whole 9 yards. And so this year I adopted to take 20 pounds of garbage every month for a year out of the ocean.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, oh wow, you know, do something that
yeah. So that's why, because like you said, during the Christmas and whatever, like you said, don't get yourself in a rush. Now I just picked like maybe 2 children. I mean, I learned my lesson from the 25, but I picked like maybe 1 or 2. But it's just, that's what I put in my mindset on. I said, okay, if I want to do anything for as a gift, I really just want to do that. And I focus on that part of it. Yeah.
And this year, what we did in our family is like we did a grab bag of the adults. Yeah. And so that was really nice. And I was quite proud of myself because, you know, like we have the extended family and the significant others and all of that. And so I got one of the significant others. So I called my grandson and I texted and said, hey, you know, what do they like to do? Not what should I buy? I think we talked about this. Not what should I buy, but what do they like to do? And I got a list back. Oh, and then I put something on the list and made a gift about it in that thing. So it was easy to do, and I had fun doing it.
And they liked it because that's what somebody
loved it.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
I like that idea, Barbara, because a lot of times how just in general, people would say, oh, I got to buy a gift to this person. They don't really know what they like. And they buy some for them. Then they find out they really didn't like it, but they didn't tell them they didn't like it. You know how that old thing goes.
Exactly.
But with you, I love your idea, how you said, okay, let me know what they like to do.
What do they like to do?
You can get something that they like, you know? Yeah.
And they loved it. They loved it. It was, you know, so it was just a really cool thing. So that's something that you can, you know, to make your life easier for next year. One of the biggest things, though, for this year is, you know, and here's us. Okay, let me tell you, I know that we are on social media right now, and you and I talk about social media all the time. Mm-hmm. But if you're having a hard time with the holiday season for whatever reason, stay off of social media. What's happening is you're only seeing the highlight reel of people's lives.
Yes.
You're not seeing the stupid stuff that's going on behind the scenes. You're not seeing their credit card statements that are going to come in January and they're freaking out about them. You don't see any of that. Mm-hmm. You only see the curated, you only see the best things, all the happy things. Mm-hmm. So if you're having a tough time at this moment, this season, don't sit there and just scroll through and compare. Quit comparing yourself.
Oh, that's so true.
And I know that I say that quite often. Quit beating yourself up for the things that you're not.
Yes.
Celebrate the things that you are.
Yes, definitely.
And that is especially true at this season.
I am so glad you mentioned that, Barbara. It's so true because, you know, again, I'm going to tell myself, we always tell ourselves. That's why I love both of us, because we're really vulnerable and because we want people to understand that we're human just like you.
We're human.
Like everybody else out there watching us. Yeah. And for a time, I was kind of in that mode. I was like, okay, because, you know, I'm the social media stuff. So I'm learning social media as I'm looking at social media. And I'm seeing everybody, like you said, with their pictures, their videos, they're doing all this. And I'm sitting there like, I'm just sitting here in my office. Everybody's having fun. What's going on with me? You know, what was me type of thing. And I said, stop it. I said, Barbara, stop it. So I had to move away for a minute. I had to really, just like you said, move away, because then I was getting to the point where I didn't want to go. And that was getting a little bit like envy, jealousy started kicking in a little bit. You know, all that was kind of seeping in a little.
And I'm like, why wasn't I invited?
Yeah, like, well, what tell me about the part? And then I would see family members, and I'm like, really? No, it didn't say anything about they were going over somebody's. You know, all that started creeping in. So I'm like, Barbara, stop the madness. You got to make a choice. Yeah,
right. And you know, and how we handle anything is a choice. However, once in a while, it's, you know, when we see that I love that curated happy snaps on social chat, on the social media. I mean, those things, they can make you feel worse. Hey, you know what? And I'm the first one to admit that.
Yeah.
Because I'm still learning social media. I'm still learning YouTube. I'm still, you know what, but I'm trying to get it out there. And right now I'm working on it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was finding that I was just getting so stressed. And it was like, Barbara, stop. Let's step back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I have really realized that I have to do, and I have gotten better at it. I am not there 100% at all, but I make sure that I set a timer to stand up, to take a break, get hydrated, relax your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often when we're sitting, because when we're on social media and you're like this.
Yes.
Well, guess where you feel it? Right across the top of your back.
Yeah.
So make sure that you stand up. Make sure you stand up. So important. So important. Just take those breaks.
Yes, definitely. You know, and sometimes when I'm sitting, I still have to, even if I didn't stand up yet, I start to move back instead of hunching over, you know.
Instead of hunching over.
I said, I got to remind myself of that because like you said, Barbara, it really,
Yeah.
And if you don't have the right chair, you're really, messed up.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and people don't realize is that when you take breaks, but I'll miss something. Yeah, but when you don't take a break, you get caught in these. There is a word for it, and I can't remember what they are, but it's like they're a loop, and you become unproductive because it stifles your creativity. Mm-hmm. So you might be doing something like I'll tell on myself. I've been working on this YouTube, putting up videos on YouTube, and it was like then all of a sudden it just stopped working. It wouldn't upload. It wouldn't upload. And then, of course, I'm getting credit. What's wrong with you?
Oh, no.
What's wrong with you that you can't do this? And then, but luckily, a friend of mine, my friend Carol, she says, well, Barb, you might have to just restart your computer.
Was it that?
Yes.
I like how you look to the side. Yes.
It was.
Yes, just the littlest things like that.
Right, but because I was getting upset, and I know to just restart, because it just has to reset itself because you've given it too much to do, and you've got so much video going up, and video is it takes more bandwidth.
Yeah.
But because I was starting to get, what's wrong with me that I can't get this, and beating myself up. I couldn't think straight. So of course, when Carol says, well, have you restarted your computer? No.
Okay.
And I've had to do it twice today. To restart and it just restarts, has to reboot, get itself together again, and it's right back again.
Well, wow. Well, you know what? I want to get to our sponsors real quick, but when we come back, Barbara, I want you to give an opening to what you're doing, you and Carol, because I know there's something that you're doing, like a contest. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that.
We are doing a contest.
Okay, so that's exciting. So let's give our sponsors some love, and then Barbara can give us some more love and tell us about this contest that she has.
We are doing.
We will be right back.
When you do nothing, nothing happens. Best time to take action is now. This is the time to work on you and your business. So I've created a group, an online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen. See you in Power Partners.
My name is Serena Buffalino. I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. My career started off as a special education teacher. When my students found out that there were kids in this world that did not have the right to go to school inspired them. The concept behind the Haiti School Building Project was a small handful of youth in Toronto would help a small handful of youth here in Haiti. The Haiti School Building Project finally opened up last year, September 2018. It has successfully been running for 7 months now, and what I have seen is nothing shy of beautiful. One person with the support of others can literally transform the planet.
Serena, I'm so glad. Help Heal Humanity. Just let everybody know real quick. That's another show that comes on under this network on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock Central Eastern Time. And we basically discuss things that's going on around the world, changers, they're helping people that are homeless or that's in need of certain things that we might have and they don't. And then also we do bring on other nonprofits that we love to interview, to spotlight. So if you do have a nonprofit that you want to get that attention, so people can understand who you are and what your needs are, please just messenger me and we will be so willing to have you on the show. Right. So with that, and if you're just chiming in, you're back with us, the BB's Time to Shine Happiness Show that comes on every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Time in the morning, a.m. So we're just here and we're just talking about some things that we always know. We have our talks, me and Barbara right now. And one of the things we want to wish everybody a belated, if we didn't see you before, I hope you had a wonderful weekend holiday for the holidays, for Merry Christmas and all other holidays. Because I know other people might celebrate other things in Merry Christmas. So we want to make sure we're taking care of all of that. So now we have some interesting news that Barbara's going to tell us, because she's like a triple threat. She has different shows, different things going on in her life. And this is one that she's going to talk about a little bit regarding her contest.
Right. Well, you know what? One of the things, like you and I, we talk about, and you're a visibility expert, and that's one of the things that we have to talk about. People need to hear about what you do.
Yes.
They really do. And one of my favorite sayings is if you have thought it, if you have been through it, if you have survived it, whatever it is, you need to share it, because somebody else is either thought it, going through it, trying to survive it, and they're not yet. That is so important. So important. And so that's one of the things, my girlfriend Carol, but I have to thank you for it, because if it had not been for this show, I would never have gone on to do the others. So you were my first.
Oh, I love you. And we're still going strong together. So that's what I love even more.
And we're still going strong. Anyways, but my girlfriend, Carol Henderson, and she's a coach, and she does life by design, and just design your own life, to make it the second half of your life, just if you want it to be better than your first half, just all those kinds of things. Anyways, well, we have a show called Thoughtful Thursdays, where we bring on guests that we just talk about how is what you are doing. We've had you on the show. How is what you are doing making a difference in the world? And what are you doing to make a difference in people's lives? And whether it's business or personal, and we do a little bit of both. So you never know. I mean, we've had green living people on, we've had nutritionists on, we've had accountants on, just whatever, because we're humans. We all have bills to pay. We all need to eat right, or try to eat right, and try to get along with the people around us. So that's kind of all the things that we talk about. Well, Carol and I have been doing it. We've been doing it for a year, and we've been doing it on Facebook. And then because of Barb, it was like, gee, maybe we should start a YouTube channel. So so now we have gotten a little over a year, I think just over a year of interviews that we've had. and we're putting them all up on YouTube. So we've been making these fancy cards for all of our guests that have been on the show. And we're having a contest that from now until January 2nd, that whoever gets the most amount of comments and shares, we've got prizes. And we've had so many people that are saying, oh, wow, yeah, this is going to be fun. So this is what I've been a little stressed about today, because we're getting out all these cards and stuff and getting the YouTube things out. But so we're going to have them all done by tomorrow. And then we've still got another week for people to promote and stuff. So we're excited, and that's one of the things too about this time of year. If you're feeling down, find something to be excited about. Find something to be excited about. Or on the other hand, avoid the topics that other family members are going to argue about. Oh, yike. That's a biggie. If people are going to argue, just either stay away from the event. Why get caught up? Why get caught up in having to deal with strife that's not of your choosing? That's a big thing. And learn how to be civil, be kind. So that's my lecture of this. And then the other thing is take care of your health.
Yes. Yes.
So you don't need to overeat. I'm a cookie monster.
You say you're a cookie monster. Well, Barb, before we go to that part, because I want to hear a little bit of that before we're going to be signing off, but do I have the right YouTube channel? Because I did find on the Carol Henderson's live.
Yes, it's Thoughtful Thursdays, Mavens of Motivation. That's Carol and I's, the Mavens of Motivation. And so that's our, so it's Thoughtful Thursdays, Mavens of Motivation. And so it is just we're getting some traction here, and it's really fun. So find something fun to do.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they understand to go into that playlist. Okay.
Oh yeah. And there's all sorts of things up, and you'll be able to see the ones that we've made cards for, and the ones that we haven't quite gotten to yet. And that's what we're working on. So it has actually been kind of fun to design the card, and then I'm going to tell on myself. We all make mistakes. And so the very first one we put up, and she was so gracious, and she said, "You do know that there's 2 black lines on both sides of both sides of the advert?" And we went, "What?" She said, "There's black lines on both sides of it." And we went. So I went in and I said, "Oh, well, we totally forgot that we had made the graphic for a post size instead of a YouTube thumbnail size."
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had to go, that put us behind. So I had to go back and reset, but totally forgetting that all I had to do, because Canva's our friend.
Yeah,
Canva's. We love Canva.
Canva, yeah.
All I had to do was copy and resize, and it did them all for me.
Yes. So proud.
Oh, but it took me a couple of times of doing it and going, oh, how am I going to? And then it was like, oh, brother. So now I've got them all still has the post size, and I've got them all as the thumbnail size. But then, of course, when I got them into the thumbnail size, of course, it didn't look balanced. So I had to go back and rebalance. So, learning curve.
Yeah.
But it has actually been really kind of fun.
That's been awesome. I'm so glad. I'm going to push that. So from now on, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to teach everybody something. And this is, right. I'm going to tell you, but hopefully this is teaching others. Yeah. Another social media gift or whatever.
Right.
So what you want to do is do a short. I mean, like 30 seconds, no more than 30 seconds of what your show is about. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Yeah. And then you want to post that sucker everywhere and use it as a commercial when you do your interviews. Start off with that and just let them know that, if you want to become a guest on our Thursday, whatever the name is. Just, and then you can put at the end, they can go to this link or they can email you or whatever you want them to do. Call of action. And always play that towards the end. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can do that through Canva. You can do it through Zoom. You can do a quick recording. I mean, everybody thinks they have to be so polished and find all these, but you don't have to. There's so many things are free that you can just do that, and then it's still good, and you'll get the feedback you need.
Yeah, and it has been fun to do. It was fun to make that. So now we've revamped our and part of our branding.
Yes.
And so one of the things that you talk about is what are people getting to be known for? Like how do people recognize?
Mm-hmm.
And what are they saying about you? Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that they had talked about that I've noticed for myself is that when I wore all my funky square glasses, people would say, "Oh, Barb, I love your glasses." So what do you think of my red glasses that match my lipstick?
Is that the new ones that you ordered that came in? I was going to say it earlier. I love them. You look so, well, you always look beautiful, but you pop.
I really like them.
Yeah.
And they match my lipstick. So that's going to be part of my personal brand.
Yeah. But I know, even before you did that, I know you were having different glasses and you have your
different glasses. Yeah. But I wanted my glasses because I know you and I had talked about branding, and it was like, I said, I want to be known for something. And I was like, I want my glasses to match my lipstick.
Yes.
Because kudos. I've arrived here. That my sister, she has always been my most staunch supporter. Mm-hmm. And yet she's very opinionated about what she thinks is professional or not. Mm-hmm. And so there have been times in the past where Barbara, really, professional women don't wear bright red lipstick. Mm-hmm. However, I talked to her yesterday and I said, "So what do you think of my glasses that match my lipstick?" She said, "I love them." I've arrived.
If she told you that, yes, you have arrived. Because I know how your sister is about that. So if you got the approval from her, you're golden.
Yep. And
you are golden.
It's just been so fun. But it's a process.
Yeah.
Find the thing that makes you you.
Yes. Your uniqueness of you. Yes. And it's powerful.
The authentic you.
I'm glad you added that.
Do not try to be somebody else. Like last week, I was doing a little class on branding and on visibility, because you and I talk all the time and you teach me. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you talk about is that pick a lane, stick with it, and don't try to be, and don't try to do too much. Yeah. Pick where you pick. If you're just starting, pick two. Mm-hmm. So I was doing this little class, and I said, "Okay, people, if you're just starting, pick two. You don't try to do everything. Pinterest, and Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse. Like for a while there, you and I were trying to do Clubhouse and LinkedIn, and I was like, okay, I just can't. Something's got to give.
We had to pull back. Yeah, I know we both talked about that, and I had to even think about my own. What I was telling everybody else. I said, I got to do this for me and Barbara. What am I doing?
What are we doing exactly?
Yeah. But see, I always say, Barbara, pick those two lanes. Just to add to what you were saying, is not perfection, but perfected. Whatever you're doing, like right now, just as an example, how you said I picked my lane of the TV network that I have,
right,
and the social media, just one social media platform.
Right.
So I said to myself, I want to work on that, get it real nailed down. Now, if I add something to it, that's fine, but I want to be consistent. I want people to be known for what I'm doing. I want to make sure the shows are really, there and people are watching, they know where it's at, all that kind of stuff. So, but it takes work. It takes time.
It takes working to right. And I think what happens so often, and I've heard this from people so often, well, but we've been doing it for 2 months. We're not getting anywhere.
See, that's where.
Seriously, if you are committed to something, you know what? Which is one of the things, I'm going to get off on this for just a second. How many people are getting divorced because they find out after 2 weeks that 2 months that their marriage isn't working? Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Barbara,
Stop it.
Sad. It's
Stop
sad.
it. Yeah. Make a commitment. So like you and I, when we started this show, we were going to, we had committed to it. We weren't saying, oh, well, we're going to try this for 6 months or we're going to try this for a year. We're going to do this podcast. And now it's 2.5 years later, over 2.5 years later. And we're still doing it and still going strong and still being consistent.
Yeah. And still adding to it and changing things and see what works.
Adding to it.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by really bringing your brand and working your brand and putting it out there and being consistent. Like you said, Barbara, that is so important. You know, think about all these brands that we know, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and McDonald's and all them. They didn't, after 2 or 3 months, they said, well, you know what, that sign, that golden arch is not working, so we're going to take it down. I mean, they consistently put it out there in different ways. Right.
And they've been known to make mistakes. Look at when Coca-Cola made that huge disaster about trying to go to New Coke.
Yeah, that was
was a colossal failure.
Yeah.
That cost them loads of money. But you know what? Even the big brands can make a mistake. But they learned from it. And Coke is still going strong. So if you have a mistake, it doesn't mean that you quit.
No.
It means that you regroup, rebrand a little bit, and just eat humble pie and say, I am really sorry. We should not have done this. This was a colossal mistake, and we're back. Which is what Coke had to do.
They had to do
humble pie and go, this was a big mistake.
It's like, okay, that really was not good.
But
they didn't just say, you know what, let's get rid of Coke. You'll never see Coca-Cola again in life. I mean, they didn't do nothing like that. They just had to, like you just said, I like what you said, the different ways, what they had to do. And, you know, you as a business being in, you know, if you just started, if you're in the middle of it, or you've been doing it for a while, that's always just going to happen. That's life. You're going to make different decisions. It's going to teach you. You're going to learn from. You're going to grow from. You grow from each other. I mean, Barbara alone, I'm learning now. Barbara's always giving me kudos about how I helped her, and she has these other platforms. But I look at Barbara's platform. There's some things that I'm like, hey, I like what she's doing. I need to kind of maybe do some things in that on my end, and that's good because we're learning and growing from each other.
We're learning from each other.
Yes,
and that's what is. And I think that is the biggest key. And so, like, let's come full circle to at this time of the year. If you're feeling a little down, and let's leave this on such a positive note, that go out and learn something new. Find something new to learn, that going into the new year, that you're going to be excited about, that you're going to put some passion around.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
I love it.
The world, you always hear, the world is your oyster. Go out and find the pearl that is going to make your life extravagantly rich and abundant. But all it does is you just take it. But you know, the thing is, pearls started with one little grit of sand that was an irritant. That was an irritant to the oyster.
Yes.
So we are all called. What is something that you are looking around and seeing that, that shouldn't be? Somebody needs to do something about that. Adopt a child. Name a star. Buy a star. Whatever it is to make you feel that you are part of humanity, that you are making an impact here in this In your lifetime, you are making an impact.
I love it, Barbara. That's a good way to sail into our, ending here. And just like Barbara did, she's cleaning the ocean. I mean, Barbara's sitting here cleaning the ocean. I'm like, oh my God, it's much needed. Much needed. Much needed, Barbara.
Needed. And one of the other charities that I really think is such an important one too is Operation Christmas Drop. It's the longest running charitable of the armed forces. And I truly believe that we need to support that.
Yeah.
You've missed it for this year, but you know what? There's always next year. And that's one of the beauty of these things. Start now and think about next year.
Yes. Well, it's okay. Let's just zoom into that before we close. Next year we will be back, and that will be January 3rd. January 3rd we'll be back. So we want to wish everybody an awesome, happy New Year's Eve. Be safe, drive safe, wherever you're gonna go, and then wish you a very happy New Year's. And just look forward to seeing things in your life that's gonna really blow up and be those world changers that me and Barbara always talk about. Because whatever you have in you, and I was telling people this over the weekend about the gift is in you. Just let that gift spread out so people can be a part of that gift, reach for that gift, and get a lot out of that gift. And that's what's in you. So Barbara, thank you for being my gift in my life, because you are a gift to me.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been such a great year. Can you believe 2022? Yeah.
Going into 2023. Wow.
Going into 2023. And so let's make the new year just profitable, not just monetarily profitable, but spiritually profitable, and just of happiness, being happy. Just, find the happiness in you. Let's make happiness the norm rather than the exception.
There we go. We're going to leave it at that. That's what it's all about, this show. So with that, Barbara, have a wonderful New Year, lady. We'll be talking before then.
Absolutely.
We'll see everybody else January 3rd, same time, same station, 8:00 Central Time in the morning.
In the morning. You got it. Bye-bye.